Ok, todos, entonces ya vamos a empezar. Como le dije, la compañía se llama GoFutureNow, es una compañía de aprender inglés. It's a company to learn English, and we have a lot of resources. Tenemos muchos recursos para ustedes, for you guys. Okay, so starting today's class, this is an intermediate class 2, and we are going to start with a review of what we did last week on Monday. And last week on Monday, we worked on using possessive adjectives, and we also worked on sentences with possessive adjectives. Now, what are possessive adjectives? Well, they're adjectives, so they describe something, right? They describe a noun, and they describe a noun as belonging to someone. They describe a noun as belonging to someone. So in the next slide, what you're going to see is examples of sentences that use possessive adjectives to describe a noun and to describe who the noun, or what, usually who though, the noun belongs to. So for example, all of the words that are in bold and underlined on this page are possessive adjectives. And these are the same sentences that we did last week on Monday. So you've seen this already. This is just a review, right? So what we have in the first sentence is, I enjoyed my last vacation. My is a possessive adjective, and it describes vacation as belonging to me. Ok, esta vez lo voy a repetir en español y todas las demás las voy a hacer solamente en inglés. La palabra my en la primera oración es un adjetivo posesivo. Es un adjetivo, entonces describe un sustantivo. El sustantivo va a ser la vacación. Y lo describe como que le pertenece a alguien. ¿A quién le pertenece? A mí. Because, o porque el sujeto de la oración es yo. So, I enjoyed my last vacation. My is the possessive adjective, and it described the last vacation as belonging to me or I. Number two, the second sentence. You bought your car last year. Your is a possessive adjective. It describes the car. It describes the car as belonging to you, right? Number three, he brought his dog to the park, right? His is a possessive adjective. It describes the dog as belonging to him or to the subject, he. We have the fourth sentence. She watched her favorite show. Her is a possessive adjective. It describes the show as belonging to her. That's her favorite show, belongs to her. Moving on to the first sentence on the right-hand side, la primera oración a la mano derecha. You and your family are having dinner. Your is a possessive adjective. It describes the family as belonging to you. It's your family. Es tu familia, right? Your family. The puppy lost its mother. Its is a possessive adjective. It describes the mother as belonging to the puppy, right? So the mother belongs to the puppy lost its mother. They ate their lunch quickly. There is a possessive adjective. It describes who the lunch and who it belongs to. It belongs to them. They ate their lunch quickly. And we went to our country on vacation. Our is a possessive adjective. It describes the country as belonging to us or to the subject, which is we. Okay, so that's the first page. The next page, again, this is a review. We did this already last week. So the next page, I'm going to go through it a little bit quicker, right? And if you need to see it again, you will be able to see it on the video. Or I can always send you the first video. If you didn't get the first video, let me know, and I will send you the first video if you missed the class. So we'll make sure that you can see that whole class. So here in the next page, we see 8 more sentences. He usually drives to work in his car. The car belongs to him, or to he, which is the subject. She really enjoys her English class. The English class belongs to her, or she, which is the subject. They often spend time in their backyard. The backyard belongs to them, or they, which is the subject. We never open our windows in winter. The windows belong to us, or we, because it's the subject of the sentence. I seldom drink my coffee too hot. The coffee belongs to me. I am the subject. The dog takes care of its puppies. The puppies belong to the dog, right? It's its puppies. You talk to your parents every day. The parents belong to you. They're your parents. And Robert is spending time with his son. The son belongs to Robert. It's his son. Okay? If that's a little bit fast and you don't understand it, ask for the video, practice it this week. You'll catch up, don't worry. If not, if you're okay, then we're going to keep going. The next page is that, this, these, and those, right? So these 4 words we used last week as well. We practiced it last week. That is singular and close. That is singular and far. That is singular and far. Singular y lejos, ¿verdad? And it's eso. This is singular and close. Singular and close, singular y cercano es esto, right? These is plural and close, estos, and those is plural and far, esos, right? So these are 4 very good words that we want to know. We want to learn them. We want to make sure that we know them, part of what we went over last week. So now we move on to this week. So now I'm going to slow down. I'm going to go a little bit slower. I'm going to take my time. You guys are going to be able to copy. And we're going to go through using object pronouns and sentences with object pronouns. So we're going to work with object pronouns today. Okay? Last week, possessive adjectives. This week, object pronouns. And in the next slide, I'm going to show you the subject pronouns, and I'm going to show you the object pronouns. And I want you to copy them. I want you to write them down. You have to learn them. You have to memorize them. All right, you have to know these. Subject pronouns are on the top. They're in a blue background, and they're yellow letters. La parte de arriba, que es en azul, y las letras son amarillas, esos son los pronombres de los sujetos, the subject pronouns. And what are they? I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. And you see you twice because you can be singular and plural. Ustedes ven you 2 veces porque puede ser singular y plural. Tú y ustedes. Good. Now, on the bottom part of that table, in a yellow background and blue writing, tiene la parte de atrás amarilla y las letras son azules, ¿verdad? Tenemos los pronombres de los objetos, the object pronouns, right? And the object pronouns mean exactly the same thing as the subject pronouns. Significan lo mismo, pero la palabra es diferente. Me, you, him, her, it, us, you, and them. Okay? And I see that we have somebody, I'm going to pause. I see we have somebody that just joined us. I want to acknowledge them. Anna, thank you for being with us. You didn't miss much. You only missed the review. And everything that we're looking at is brand new. So I hope you have your notebook. Make sure you're taking notes. Thank you for being with us. Okay, so you have the subject pronouns and you have the object pronouns. Okay. In the blue box on the bottom, we have some simple rules that you need to know. In order to find out what the subject of a sentence is and what the object of a verb is, you need to be able to identify the verb, subject, and object of a sentence. So this is the definition of those three things. The verb in a sentence is the action in a sentence. You have to remember that. The verb is the action in a sentence. Now, the subject of a sentence is what does the action. It usually comes before the verb. Not always, but usually it's before the verb. So the verb is the action in the sentence. The subject does the action. It's the thing or the person that's doing the action. And then you have the object of the verb, which receives the action. And it always comes after the verb. The object always comes after the verb. So I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to copy those three definitions down, because those definitions are very important to understanding when to use a subject, when to use an object. So as you copy, I'm going to repeat the three sentences. The verb is the action in a sentence. The subject does the action. It usually comes before the verb. The object of the verb receives the action. It always comes after the verb. Later, you'll learn object of the preposition. There's different types of objects. You have object of the preposition. But for today, we're only working with object of the verb because we're going to work with object pronouns. Okay? So I hope everybody was able to copy those. If you didn't, don't worry. We are going to give you the video. You'll be able to see it. But I'm going to move on to the next slide, because in the next slide, we're going to start looking at some practice sentences, and we're going to break them down into verb, subject, object. Okay? So here on top, I have the subject pronouns and the object pronouns again that you can use to help you as we go through these examples. So you can always refer. You can refer back to the top of the screen if you need to. The first sentence that we have is, I know you. I know you, right? So the first thing is we have to identify the verb. Well, what's the verb in this sentence? Well, the verb has to be the action. The action in the sentence is know, knowing someone, right? So the verb is know. So the subject is what's doing the action, right? So who is knowing someone or something? Who is knowing someone or something? That's the subject. So I am the one who is knowing someone or something. So I am the subject of the sentence. And who's receiving that action? Who is being known? Well, I know you. So you are being known. You are the object. Now you'll notice that the subject is in blue background with yellow writing. So I have to pick from the list on top that's with blue background, yellow writing. The object is with a yellow background, blue writing. I have to pick from the list on top that's in yellow background, blue writing, right? So remember, when you have a subject and you want to do a subject pronoun, you have to pick from the subject pronoun list. And when you have an object, right, and you want to turn it into an object pronoun, you have to pick from the object pronoun list. In a previous class, somebody asked me the question of, when do I use you and I and you and me? Well, if You and I is the subject, and I have to use I because I is a subject pronoun. But if I'm talking about you and I as an object, I can't say you and I. I have to say you and me because it's an object. So remember that when you see those like you and I, you and me, and you don't know which one it is, you need to ask yourself, well, is this a subject or an object? Then you know if you're using I or me or any of the other ones that are on top, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. If it does not, just ask the question or we'll talk more about it towards the end. But we can definitely review that if that didn't make much sense. I can give you some examples of that. In any case, we're going to go to the next sentence. Next sentence, you know me, right? So now instead of I know you, is the opposite, you know me. We have to decide, well, what's the verb? And it's very similar to the last sentence. So again, we know what the verb is, right? What's the verb? Right? There you go. The verb is know, right? And then the subject, well, what's the subject? Who is doing that? You. You know me. So the subject is you. And what's the object? Well, if the subject is you, then naturally the object has to be me, right? So the object is me. So now we'll move on to the next sentence. And in the next sentence, he knows her. What's the verb? Well, similar to the first two sentences, the verb is the action conocer or to know someone. Now, I'm going to stop here for a second, and I want you to notice something. There's something different, right? There's something different between the verbs in the first two sentences and the verbs in the third sentence, right? So what's different about it? Well, there's an S, right? That's what the difference is. So there's an S at the end. He knows her. He knows her. Why is there an S? I'm going to pause for a second, and I'm going to open that up to the chat. I want somebody to explain to me, why is there an S in knows on the third sentence, but not on the first two? So I'm gonna wait to see what is the verb there. Okay, so I'm going to wait to see a student answer the question why the verb changed from know to knows. From know to knows. And in the meantime, Ricardo, can you hear me? Ricardo, really quick, I have a person, Felipe Granada. He's from Argentina, our Argentinian friend. He wants the link. I'm not able to do that right now because I'm in the middle of the presentation. If you can find his email and just shoot it to him, he wants to join us. He's one of our prior students, so he should be on the list of emails.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so we have Rafael. And Rafael says, well, because this is in the third person. Excellent, yes. When you have, so this is going to be a future lesson that we're going to do. And in the future, we're going to work with the simple present, and I'm gonna write that on the chat as well. The simple present with he, she, and it as a subject. The verb ends in S. That's the rule. I put it on the chat. Simple present with he, she, and it as a subject. The verb ends in S. Remember that rule because we're going to do that in the future. We're going to have that rule in the future. That we're going to go over that in the future. So in this sentence, what is the subject? Well, we already know that whatever does the action is the subject. So he is the subject. He knows her, and the object is the person or thing, but in this case, a person that is receiving the action, right? And then in the next sentence that we have is going to be very similar. So these are just examples for you to copy. And you're going to see another sentence. She knows him. The verb is knows. The subject is she. And the object is him. So take a look at that one. Very similar. She is the subject. Knows is the verb. Him is the object. And the verb has an S because the subject is third person singular. Then we have the next example coming up. And then next example, the subject, verb, and object. We have we know them. The verb is know. The subject is we. And the object is them, right? So I think you guys can see a pattern at this point. There's a pattern that you're seeing, and that pattern is showing you the subject, verb, and object of a sentence. And then the last one, they know us. The verb is know, and then we're going to have the subject and the object, right? So they know us. The verb is know, and then the subject and the object is they is the subject, and us is the object. So I'm going to stop for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm going to let you look at all of these sentences that I have on the presentation. And I want you to look at these sentences, and I want you to see the pattern. Subject, verb, object. All subjects come from the blue background list. All objects come from the yellow or gold background list. All the verbs are the same, except when you're in third person singular. In the simple present, the verb gets an S. That's going to be the only difference, okay? So I'll give you guys a minute or two. I'm also going to look at the chat in case anybody has any questions, or if you want me to repeat anything. I'm going to be looking at the chat and waiting for questions there, while I also give everybody the opportunity to copy, to look, and to think about what they're looking at in case that they have any questions or something is not clear. All right, so I'll do that now. Maybe we'll wait about 1 more minute for everyone, and then we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so again, what we're working on today is object pronouns, and we need to know that they are different than the subject pronouns. I is me, you is the same. You see, you and you stays the same. He is him, she is her, it stays the same. It stays the same. We is us. Then the you in plural also stays the same. And they is them. Okay. So if there are no questions, I'm gonna take that to mean that everybody kind of understands and everybody's feeling okay. So if there's no questions, then we're gonna move on to the next slide. And now I'm gonna have you guys do a little bit of work, right? I'm gonna have you guys work. So look at all these sentences here. We have 7, I believe. Yeah, we have 7 sentences. I want you guys to work on these sentences. I want you to write them. And I want you to use the object pronoun. The name that is underlined, take that name out. Take that name out. And I want you to use the object pronoun. So let's do number 1. And if you want to put that on the chat, and you want to put your answer on the chat, you can. And I'm going to start putting the answers on the screen. But why don't you in your notebook, because I know everybody has their notebooks out. Why don't you in your notebooks write down for me these answers? And if you want to type it on the chat, you want to show me that you know it, you can also do that, right? So I spoke to Carlos yesterday. Change that to an object pronoun. I spoke to Carlos yesterday. Let's change that to the object pronoun there. And I think we also have Felipe with us. So I'm glad Felipe is here. Okay, we also have an answer. Make sure you put a period at the end, but that answer looks wonderful. The answer looks great. I spoke to him yesterday. That does look very good. That looks correct. Just don't forget the period at the end, right? And then the answer is going to come up on the screen. And then I want everybody working on number 2. Everybody's working on number 2 now. Good. I have a third answer there. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Rafael. Let's work on number 2. She went with Rosa to the grocery store. She went with Rosa to the grocery store. Let's see Janet right there with a great answer. Don't forget the period. Let's not forget the period at the end. Great answer there. Katia, thank you. Don't forget the capital S. Capital S. Anna, you missed store at the end with the period. Okay, Rafael, thank you. Excellent. So we have some good answers there. She went with her to the grocery store. She went with her to the grocery store. That's excellent right there. You guys are doing a great job. Let's look at number 3 now. Let's look at number 3. We saw the children at the park. We saw the children at the park. So give me that as a sentence. Felipe, I know you're here with us. When you get a chance, just say hello so that I know that you can hear us. Okay, we have an answer here. Look at that, capital letter in the beginning, period at the end, and everything looks great. We saw them at the park, right? We saw them at the park. Janet is with us. Felipe is with us. Hello, Felipe. Glad to have you on board. Felipe, don't worry. We're going to send you the video. We're going to send you the video so you're going to see what you missed. Okay? Thank you for joining us. Let's move on to number 4. They brought the books to the classroom. Let me get an answer for that. I'm going to wait to see people give me an answer for that one. They brought the books to the classroom. So I'm waiting for an answer for that one. We have an answer from Mariana that says, we saw them at the park. Mariana, do not forget, capital W. We, capital W, everything else, perfect. Perfect. Let's look at number 4, guys. I see somebody put an answer. I'm going to say something is incorrect in that answer. So we want to fix that answer. Katia, thank you for giving the answer. There's something that needs to be fixed. Let's fix it. Anna, same thing. Same thing. You got to fix something there. They brought the books with a nice long S, right? They brought the books to the classroom. Rafael, we're still on number 4. Just wait 1 minute. Let's do number 4 first. They brought the books to the classroom. I'm waiting for the right answer for that one. Let's wait for the right answer for that one. Okay? Think about it. Think about it. It can't be it. Look at Janet. She says they brought them to the classroom. That is correct. That is correct. Guys, the books is plural. When you have plural it, meaning when you have things that are plural, it's them. Okay? So they brought them to the classroom. When you have a plural thing, even though it's not a person, it's them. Cuando tienes algo plural, hasta si es una cosa, no una persona, todavía es ellos. So ellos trajeron ellos a la clase, los libros serían ellos. Okay? Good. And that's in English. I mean, that's just the way English is, right? Number 5. The mother cat took care of the kittens. The mother cat took care of the kittens. So kittens son los gatos pero bebé, los chiquitos, ¿verdad? So the mother cat took care of the kittens. We have Katia, who says the mother cat took care of them. Anna, the mother cat, took care of them. And Melissa and Janet, the mother cat, took care of them. Everybody has a capital T in the beginning. Everybody has a period at the end. I'm glad. I'm happy to see that, right? Because the more you do it, the more you'll remember to do it, right? It's the little things that we know how to do it, but we don't do it a lot. Sometimes we just we just skip it because it's like we feel like we know it already. but it's good practice to always do it. So excellent. Good job, everybody there. You are missing something. Rafael, what are we missing? You let me know what we're missing. The mother cat took care of them. The mother cat took care of the kittens. You tell me what we're missing, and then I'll fix it. All right, good. So now we're at the next one. I see some people started already with the next one. In that question, I'm not sure which question. I'm going to look at it as I allow people to give me answers for number 6. I'm going to look at that question for Rafael to see if I can figure out what he means. You wrote it around town is correct, Anna, and Janet as well. Don't forget the capital Y and U, the mother. Apostrophe S. Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk about that right now, Rafael. I'm going to talk about that right now, Rafael. But that is correct for those that gave me the answer. You wrote it. The bicycle is singular. Rafael, you don't want the apostrophe S there. The mother cat means la gata, que es la madre, or la gata, la mamá gata, something, la mamá gata, I would say in Spanish, right? Apostrophe, cuando tú pones el apostrophe S, eso significa que le pertenece, right? So, the mother's cat sería el gato de la mamá. Pero yo no quiero decir el gato de la mamá, yo quiero decir la mamá gata. So it would be mother cat without the apostrophe S. I don't know if that's the question you had or the confusion we had, but hopefully I answered that, right? So yeah, so no apostrophe S. It's okay the way it is. Apostrophe S shows possession. So when you do apostrophe S, that means that whatever word comes after the S belongs to the word with the S. Si ponen apostrophe S, la palabra que viene después de la S le pertenece a la palabra que tiene el apostrophe S. Okay? So remember that. It's quite all right. Esas preguntas son muy buenas porque quién sabe si otra persona tenía la misma duda. So that's excellent. That's great. Okay, wait. Last one. I see some people answering the last one. So let's finish up. You can go with Rosa and me to the party. You can go with Rosa and me to the party. Okay? And then the answer is right there. Yep, I see a couple people with the answer. Thank you, Janet. And Janet and the group too. We have a group over there. I keep forgetting. So we have a nice group over there. So thank you, everyone there. You can go with us to the party. Guys, you can make like an ESL party the way Janet is doing right now. You can get people together, put this on a big screen TV, right? And everybody can learn English together. How cool would that be? So that's excellent. You can go with us to the party. Let's say that is correct. Yes. Good job. Good job, everybody. We're going to move on to the next page. Hopefully you had the opportunity to copy these down. If you don't worry. You're going to get the video. You will get it. So don't worry about that. Let's move on to the next slide. We're going to move on to the next slide. And in the next slide, I'm going to give you guys 7 more sentences. 7 more sentences. I really wanted you guys to practice today, right? So let's go through these. Number 1, we spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Diaz yesterday. We spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Diaz yesterday. I want to see the answer to that. So I'm going to let you guys use the chat to give me the answer, right? We spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Diaz yesterday. All right, so take a look at that. Let's change Mr. and Mrs. Diaz to an object pronoun. Let's get the object pronoun in there. Let's rewrite the sentence. And I'm waiting for some answers. Right, so let's think about it. We spoke to Mr. and Mrs. Diaz yesterday. And we have some answers here. And I see 3 answers. 4. We spoke to them yesterday. We spoke to them yesterday. That is correct. Everybody got the right answer. Good job. Let's look at number 2. I went with my mother to the grocery store. I went with my mother to the grocery store. Let's change my mother to an object pronoun. You can type it, you can write it. All right, I'm going to wait a second or two more to see some more answers in there. If some people write too fast, this is what I say. Some people write too fast, don't worry. Try not to look at the chat. Write it in your notebook. Afterwards, then you can look. Then you can look and see the right answer. So some people are quicker than others, and that's okay. But if you want to practice it and you don't want to see it, write it in your notebook. Don't look at the chat. And then when you're ready, see if you got the right answer. And I see some right answers there. I went with her to the grocery store. I went with her to the grocery store. Yep. Now watch your spelling with W-I-T-H, with. I went with her to the grocery store. I'll do number 3 now. Number 3, everybody. She saw birds at the park. She saw birds at the park. As you give me that answer, I'm going to say 2 things. Number 1, if there's any words that you don't understand and you want the definition, let me know. We'll fix that. Okay? If there's any words that you don't know. Number 2, if you say, you know what, I want to practice my pronunciation. I want to practice pronunciation. It's really important to me. When you get these videos, you can do that. You can listen to them over and over again. You can look at the words. You can see how they sound. Eventually, we're going to add that piece to these classes. We're going to have you guys come in and talk to us. So don't worry, that's coming. But in the meantime, you can practice your pronunciation. I see 1 answer for number 3. Can we have a couple? Well, I see 2 now. 3. Okay, there they are. So she saw birds at the park. She saw them at the park. Good job. See, birds, plural. Them. Excellent work. Excellent work right there. Let's look at number 4. They brought their homework to the class. They brought their homework to the class. Okay, so let's look at that. They brought their homework to the class. Give me some answers there. I'm waiting for some answers. They brought their homework to the class. Let me get some answers for number 4 right there. Okay, and don't forget what I said, so you can always practice your pronunciation when you get the videos. But in the future, you're going to be able to join this course, and you're going to be able to talk to us, so we can listen to the way you pronounce some of the sentences and words. So I have some answers. I see. Let me see. Okay, no, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for some answers, actually. No, I do not. They brought their homework to the class. Good, Katia. Katia gave me an answer there. And that looks good. I'm going to give everybody maybe a second or two, because that one's hard. That one's hard. Right? It's a little different. Okay, I'll give you a hint. If you're thinking, I'll give you a hint. Homework is always singular. Always. The word homework is always singular. Okay, it's actually it's actually a non-count noun. Homework is a non-count. You can't count homework. Aunque en español se puede contar, ¿verdad? Oh, tengo 2 tareas, tengo 3 tareas. En inglés, you don't say I have 3 homeworks. No se dice. O uno tiene tarea o no tiene. Right? Y eso va a ser una lección en el futuro. Vamos a hacer count nouns y non-count nouns, contables y no contables. Pero homework es una de esas palabras que no se cuentan. So homework is always singular. And yes, I see some answers there. That is correct, everybody. They brought it to the class. That is the correct answer. They brought it to the class. Good job, everybody. Let's look at the next one. I'm going to move to the next one. The mother cat took care of her kittens. The mother cat took care of her kittens. En lo que hacen esa respuesta, voy a decir algo. While you do that answer, I'm going to say something. In that sentence, her kitten, singular. And in the one before, their homework, I'm using possessive adjectives, and I'm doing that on purpose. That was last week's class. So I want you to get used to changing objects that have a possessive adjective in there to object pronouns. Si se da cuenta, en este ejemplo y en el ejemplo anterior, tengo their homework y her kitten. Yo estoy usando adjetivos posesivos como parte de el objeto del verbo o el objeto de la preposición en la segunda. Right? Cuando uno cambia un objeto que tiene un adjetivo posesivo conectado a un pronombre, el adjetivo posesivo se tumba, se quita, ¿verdad? So their homework se cambia a it. So no van a decir their it, no. Their homework entero se cambia a it. Her kitten, su gatico, right? Se cambia a it también, right? Se va a cambiar a it también. El her también se quita. That's something you have to remember. Eso es algo que tienen que acordarse. La segunda también lo hace. La número 2 también lo hace. I went with my mother. Mi mamá es ella. So la parte mi también se quita. Mi mamá se quita entero. Okay? So that's something that I want you to realize. That's something that I want you to remember. Okay? Because that's a mistake that when people are learning this, that's a mistake they make. Cuando alguien está aprendiendo esta lección por la primera vez, hacen ese error mucho. Que si yo no lo subrayo con la línea, no me quitan el adjetivo posesivo. Solamente me quitan el sustantivo que le sigue. Entonces hacen her, it, their, it, my, her, y eso es incorrecto. Tienen que quitar el adjetivo posesivo. Okay? Good job, everybody. Let's go on to the next one. So that one's right. The mother cat took care of it. Let's do the next one. He asked his manager, Mr. Lee, for a day off. He asked his manager, Mr. Lee, for a day off. And the answer is he asked him for a day off. I see 2 answers there. He asked him for a day off. And that's great. That's very good. Good job. All right. So we'll get that answer on the screen and we'll move on to the last one. She called Rosa and you on the phone. She called Rosa and you on the phone. Thank you, Rafael. That's correct. Ana, Katia, good job. Last one. She called Rosa and you. Rosa y tú. Rosa and you. Right. ¿Y cómo se dice? Sería ustedes. ¿Cómo se dice ustedes? ¿Cómo se dice ustedes? She called Rosa and you on the phone. Ella lo llamó a ustedes. Remember, esa es la palabra que significa 2 cosas. Tú y ustedes es la misma palabra. Same word. Por eso a veces se confunde. Right? She called. I see 2 different answers. ¿Cómo se dice ustedes? Them es ellos. Them es ellos. Pero ella no lo llamó a ellos. Ella lo llamó a ustedes. She called Rosa and you on the phone. ¿Cómo se dice ustedes en inglés? You. She called you on the phone. Take a look at it. Esa es otra que muchas veces confunde. ¿Pero por qué es que confunde? Porque están viendo you. Pero es que el you que está ahí es tú. Y Rosa y tú es ustedes. Y ustedes también es you. Y por eso es que muchas personas hacen error. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Porque ese es un error que es muy frecuente. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. You just have to get used to it. You have to get used to it. So that's something that you want to practice. Tú y ustedes es la misma palabra. So Rosa y tú, que es ustedes, es Rosa y you, which is you. Okay? That's it. That is that part of the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to move on because I wanted to finish at 8 o'clock. Quería terminar a las 8. Yo sé que empezamos unos 10 minutos tarde, pero todavía vamos a terminar como casi a tiempo. Vamos a terminar como unos 10 minutos tarde, which is okay. Hopefully you can stay with us. I'm going to move on and I'm going to go to the homework. Yo siempre doy tarea. Y lo que pasa es que de las 7, 8 personas que tengo en la clase a veces, 1 o 2 me mandan la tarea. Y yo la corrijo. Me deben mandar la tarea. Mándenme la tarea para yo corregirla para ver si entienden la clase. ¿Dónde van a mandar la tarea? Voy a poner mi email en el chat. Ahí está mi email. Me mandan la tarea ahí y yo se la voy a corregir. ¿Okay? Y la voy a repasar. Si veo que hay algunos problemas en común con el grupo, yo repaso ese problemita que vi, yo lo repaso en la próxima clase. So do your homework, mándamela. All right, it's good for you. Como medicina. No le gustan, pero es bueno para ti. Let's do it. All right, guys. This is your homework. rewrite the following 8 sentences using subject pronoun, and that's wrong. Okay, I'm going to make a quick change. Voy a hacer un cambio bien rapidito a la tarea, is object pronouns. Okay, so rewrite the following 8 sentences using object pronouns. Okay, la van a escribir otra vez, lo mismo que hicimos para la práctica de hoy en día. Lo van a hacer para tarea y me lo van a mandar al email. Yo lo voy a mirar, lo voy a corregir, le voy a decir si algo está mal y lo voy a usar en la próxima clase si veo que hay unos errores en común del grupo. All right? That's the homework. If you don't, okay, I'm going to send the video. Yo sé que a lo mejor, no, well, you know what, le voy a dar unos 2 minutos para que la copien, si la quieren copiar. Si eso es muy poco tiempo para copiar 8 oraciones, entiendo. Le vamos a mandar el video la va a tener y van a recibir el video aunque sea unos maybe 3 días, 4 días antes de la clase como quiera. Entonces van a tener el video para que puedan ver las oraciones. So if you can't copy it that fast, don't worry. Si lo pueden copiar y lo quieren copiar, lo pueden copiar. Como en 1 minuto, 2 minutos voy a seguir adelante para poder acabar. Mientras tanto, voy a mirar el chat a ver si alguien tiene cualquier pregunta, cualquier duda, para yo poder responderle esa duda. En el futuro, como dije antes, van a poder hablar con nosotros en este sistema. Lo que necesitamos que hagan, si no tienen un email de Gmail, right? Gmail, que lo voy a poner en el chat, Gmail. Si no tienen uno, deben crear un email usando Gmail. Porque con el Gmail es que van a poder entrar a estas clases. Nosotros todavía lo estamos seteando, pero sí sabemos que para que alguien pueda entrar, eso va a ser necesario. Okay? So get a Gmail account. And if you do that in the future, we're going to bring you into the class. Si hacen eso en el futuro, sí lo vamos a poder poner en la clase. Rafael, thank you for being with us again. Rafael has been with us for, I think, 2 or 3 classes already. And it's great to have you back. I think I'm glad you learned some new stuff, Rafael. I think you should also see our advanced class tomorrow. You should definitely be in the advanced class because you're definitely at that level that you can also learn from the advanced class. If you want to do multiple classes, this is for everybody. If you want to do multiple classes, that's fine. Algunas personas pueden aprender de la clase avanzada porque saben bastante ya, pero todavía agarran cositas de la clase de principiante como que se le olvidó o como práctica. Si la quieren coger las 3, no hay ningún problema, la pueden coger. You can take all 3 classes. Las clases son los sábados, hasta ahorita las clases son los sábados a las 2:30 de la tarde, obvio. A las 2:30 de la noche estoy durmiendo. 2:30 de la tarde y es zona este. Okay, el tiempo de Nueva York. So, si están en otra parte del mundo, por favor chequen la diferencia en la hora, pero es a las 2:30 mediodía, el sábado. El lunes es a las 7 de la noche y esa es la clase intermedia. Y el miércoles es a las 7 de la noche, es a la clase avanzada. Con el tiempo, cuando tengamos más estudiantes y más personas, posiblemente vamos a abrir clases en otros días y otros horarios, pero por ahora esos son los 3 horarios que tenemos. Si ustedes vienen con frecuencia, a la clase y faltan una, yo le mando el video. Ahora, si me faltan todas las clases y quieren los videos, no se lo voy a mandar. Tiene que estar en lo que sea en la mayoría de las clases. Tiene que estar activo con nosotros para yo mandarle el video. Si pasa algo que, ¿sabes qué, Rafael? No pude venir a esta clase o la otra, por favor, mándame el video. Y yo sé que estoy hablando con una persona que por lo general sí asiste a las clases, yo se lo voy a mandar. Y para que se mantengan al día. Si conocen más personas que quieren tomar estas clases, por favor, le dejan saber. All right, so I want to say thank you, Ana. I want to say thank you, Melissa. Kathy, I want to say thank you for being with us. I appreciate it. I'm going to move on to the next page, and we're going to finish in 5 minutes. We're going to finish in 5 minutes. This is the next class. On the next page, the next class is going to be a class for advanced ESL students. It's tomorrow, June 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be in this class, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I'm going to need, because I'm not going to be able to maybe to send the link, connect the link from today's class to tomorrow's class because it's intermediate to advanced. So if you want to be in tomorrow's class, you're going to email me. You're going to email me your full name and your email address, and I'm going to register you. Okay? So if you want to be in tomorrow's class, in the advanced class, same time, same place, I'm going to ask you to email me there. You already have the email because I gave it to you before. And you're going to say, this is my full name. This is my email address. Please register me. You don't even have to say, please register me. If you send me that, I already know. I'm gonna register you, and you're gonna be ready to be with us for tomorrow's class. If you know somebody who wants to be in the class, say, you know what, I have a cousin or a brother or sister, mom, my son, daughter, anybody. They want to learn. They want to practice. They want to be with us. Send me their information or tell them to contact me. We're gonna get them in. This is our website. The next page is gonna show you our website. It is GoFutureNow.com. Oh, Mariana, you're welcome. This is the website, GoFutureNow.com. Si no se inscrito, se tienen que escribir. You have to go there. Sign up, okay? There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of really, really neat, great things on this website for you. Después que se inscriban a nuestro sitio en la red, en la web, entonces van a tener un nombre y contraseña. So you can put the name and the password, name and password, nombre, contraseña, right? You can put it right there. Y van a poder entrar al sitio de web. Estamos internacional. Entonces, si conocen a alguien en otro país que quiera, y como tenemos personas de otro país en esta clase, pero para personas que están aquí en los Estados Unidos, si conocen a alguien en otro país que quieran hacer esto, ellos lo pueden hacer. Si están en otro país y conocen a alguien en los Estados Unidos que siempre dice, yo quiero aprender inglés y esto y lo otro, le pueden dejar saber. Eso es para todo el mundo internacional. Okay, so they can go in there, they can sign up, and they can be with us. You're going to go, once you sign in, you're going to see a lot of different things. I want you to, this is what I want everybody to do. I'm going to give everybody more homework. I'm going to give you something else to do. I want everybody to go to the blog. Le voy a dar a todo el mundo otra tarea para esta semana. Quiero que todos se inscriban al sistema. Quiero que todos entren. Y después que se entren al sistema, quiero que vayan al blog. El blog, ahí está el botón del blog. El blog es totalmente gratis. Ahí, hasta ahorita tenemos como unas 7, 8 lecciones. Vamos a poner más. Son gratis, son informativas. Tienen información de la gramática, algunas cosas básicas. Algunas cosas ni son tan básicas. Son cosas un poco más avanzadas. Pueden aprender mucho en esa parte. Entonces, por favor, quiero que todos vayan, nos visiten el blog, dejen un comentario si les gusta algo, dejen un comentario si tienen alguna pregunta. Si algo puede ser mejor, también dejen un comentario, nos dejan saber y lo vamos a arreglar. Okay, so that's going to be the blog. Cuando vayan al blog, se va a aparecer como la próxima página que les voy a enseñar y pueden elegir cualquiera de esas lecciones que están ahí. Y van a poder hacer el blog. So en este blog van a tener, let me show you. Let me use my laser pointer. Aprender inglés puede ser fácil, right? Aprender inglés puede ser fácil. Va a ser uno de las clases que pueden tomar por gratis o el blog que pueden hacer, right? ¿Por qué estudiar inglés? Y verbos regulares en el presente y en el pasado as well. So you guys can see that as well. Again, free, just for you. Try it out. Leave a message. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you don't and you want us to make it better. Let us know how to do that and we'll do it. And that's it. So that's your second homework that I want everybody to do. Okay, so we're going to end here. If there's no other questions, then that's fine. We're done. If there are some questions, I'll wait about 1 more minute to look at the chat to see it. If you have a question, but it comes up later, you didn't think about it now, send me an email. Let me know. Thank you very much, everyone. Do not forget, GoFutureNow.com. We're also on Facebook. Give us a like if you haven't done it already. And look at the Facebook page. We have some free stuff on there too that you guys can practice. Leave a comment. We love to hear from you guys. We love action. When we see action, that gets us excited to do more things for you. So when we see people moving in action and leaving comments, we get excited and we just end up making more things. Just, we feed off your excitement. So thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the night. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to give me your homework. And that's it. We're done. I'm going to sign off.